All right. Good morning, millionaires. Good morning, millionaires. Give me a replay, gang. If you're watching the replay, every Friday at 3:30 p.m. the newsletter drops. So this is a good time to join the newsletter list if you haven't done it yet. Welcome to the LinkedIn family. Welcome to everybody checking in from Twitter. If you're checking in from YouTube, good morning. If you're on Facebook, maybe you're in our Facebook group, which is also called Entrepreneurishment. So make sure you search that and join it, or reach out somebody that told you about us, and they'll put you in the Facebook group. We got something like 20,000 people in there. You'll love that. But regardless where you're checking in from, I want to say good morning, millionaires. Make sure you check in, rep your city. We want to know what kind of business you have, how you help other people. We know service is the rent you pay for living on planet Earth. Muhammad Ali said that, a whole other Ali. My name is Haziq Ali. If you follow me on Instagram, it'll pay off for you. I'm always giving, weird and interesting and funny kinds of content. So if you go to Mr. Haziq Ali on Instagram, you can check me out. I think we just now posted Cardi B and Offset's house. I was like, that's good vision board stuff. That's good vision board stuff. That's kind of like what my Instagram is set up like. But let's call in on this live line, y'all. Get this party started. Y'all ready? It's Free Coaching Friday.
You have something special. You have greatness in you. Hello, this is Les Brown, and you're in the right place at the right time, because we're going to bring the millionaire out of you. Just hold on.
Yeah, let's get it. Everybody ready?
Please enter your... Thank you. Please announce yourself.
All right, so this is Free Coaching Friday.
All participants are muted.
So that means that
entry and exit tones are off.
We're taking all questions from you.
All participants are muted, and they can unmute themselves.
So if you are calling in on the live line, you can unmute yourself with *6, and that'll put you in the game. If you are tuning in on social media, whether you're on LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, wherever you are, you can type questions in the comments, and we'll try to get with them. Where we are getting most of these questions is people who responded to the newsletter. Do you guys get the newsletter already? Everybody know about the newsletter? Yeah, good morning, good morning. Everybody know about the newsletter? This is a good time to subscribe if you haven't yet. Yeah, what's up, Yuli? Renee is in the house. Good morning, millionaires. Patreon. I can't tell if it's Patreon or Patreon, but I know you'll let me know. Good morning, millionaires. Hope everybody's feeling good. You can ask us anything about your business. You can ask us anything about any of the trainings that we did this past week, which were all pretty cool. Were you guys able to tune in the whole week? Patreon. Okay, I got you. Were y'all able to tune in this week for many of the trainings? I think we did a pretty good one this week. We did yesterday 4 principles of rapport for business owners. Then the day before that, we gave them how to be a fortune teller for your clients. We were talking about that whole past, present, future thing. Y'all remember that? Tuesday was Valentine's Day, so we talked about 9 ways to be able to tell toxic love from good love, actual healthy love, how to distinguish between that and toxic attachment. And then on Monday, kind of like getting ready for Valentine's Day, we talked about these things you should never say to an entrepreneur if you love them for real. So this is a pretty decent week. We gave you some good game this week. Am I right, Pastor Dandridge? Yeah, good morning, King. So I'll start getting to these questions. If you have a question on the live line, if you are feeling brave, *6 will unmute your line. *6 will unmute your line, and we can get into it like that. You can get yourself in queue. Other than that, I'm going to take the questions that we got in from the newsletter. If you have not registered for the newsletter, do that right now. Go to millionaireminded.com and put your name in the box. Don't worry, we'll be here. You can always watch the replay. All right, somebody hit me up and they said, how do I handle the objection, I don't have money to join? Can somebody type that in the comments if you've ever gotten that before? and then give me a share. The money objection. You can type that in the comments. The money objection, and then give me a share. The money objection. This is an incredible question. This is one of those questions that we get all the time. Somebody say the money objection in the comments and then give me a share. The money objection. The money objection. This is a big one. There's only probably about 7, 8, 9 different objections you'll ever hear when you're working a phone-based business, right? You're only going to hear, there's only about 9 different objections you'll ever hear. Money is one of them. Time is one of them. I got to ask my spouse. You know, there's only about 9 of them. If I was to ask you, you ain't going to be able to come up with 100. You ain't going to be able to come up with a dozen, right? Not legit objections. You're probably going to top out at about 9. Most people are going to top out at about 7. If you're really, really talented, maybe you'll be able to come up with 9 different objections. One of the biggest ones that you'll hear is the money objection. People love saying they ain't got the money. What are they really saying when they say they ain't got the money? Just that their priorities ain't in that place, right? They're not in enough pain yet. Because if you don't have the money, that means you need a business more than anybody, right? But their mindset doesn't always tell them that. So how do you handle that objection so you keep your morale up? You can keep your personal power going. Here's what you do. Somebody write in the comments, you only giving 3 options. You're only giving 3 options. And if they don't have money, they can still do number 3. All you have to remember is you're only given 3 options. They can become a client. They can become a business partner, or they can give you a social media shout out. Everybody with me? If they don't have the money to join, all you're doing is giving them options. Listen, you can become a client, you can become a business partner, or you can give me a shout out on social media. You got me, Adrian? You can give me a shout out on social media. Like, hey, you know, I don't know if any of y'all need help with your credit, but my girl, Miss Mac, is her. She is her. You know, her is she when it comes to your credit. So y'all holler at my girl. I guarantee you won't be sorry. And if you get them to post that on their social media, they just now helped. They just now helped out. Y'all with me? So maybe they weren't ready to be a client. Maybe they weren't ready to be a business partner, but they can at least give you a social media shout out. Did that help everybody? Did that help? Scale of 1 to 10. Well, give me some fire emojis. Did that help? If you typed in money objection, did we just now solve it for you? Did I just give you the best answer? Right? Right? Was that it? Exactly, Renee. Exactly. Let's go, Keisha. Let's go. All right. We got another question. Somebody asked, and these are really good. I'm glad you guys are getting a lot out of the newsletters. I really appreciate everybody who responds to the newsletters and shows love. You can tell we put a lot into them. I'm glad you guys, I love that you guys love it. Okay, somebody else wrote in from Kentucky. They were like, what do you do when people just hesitate to join? They have like kind of like a fear of failure. What I always do is I try to remind people that belief comes from experience, y'all. I mean, sometimes belief comes from stories we were told, right? But a lot of times belief comes from experience. What do I mean? I mean, the easiest way to believe that you shouldn't touch a hot stove is to touch a hot stove, right? And then from then on, you understand at a different level, right? So what you want to do when you're talking to a teammate and they're scared of failure, or you're talking to a prospect that's scared of failure, what I believe that you probably should do, okay, is remind them you got experience. If you're in a place like this, I can tell you're sharp. You're probably the sharpest one in your circle. You're the one that reads the most books in your circle. You're the one that does the most research. You're the one that does the most studying. You're the one that actually reads back over your notes. If anyone in your crew is going to do it, you're the leader, right? I dare you, remind them of your track record. Remind them of your experience. Sometimes I tell them a story, y'all. I'll be like, what's the easiest way to cross a minefield? Y'all know them minefields would be in Kosovo and Israel and all these places, right? What's the easiest way to cross them? look for the footsteps, right? Walk inside the footsteps. If you don't see blood, keep going, right? What's easier to figure it out your own, walk in the footsteps, right? Well, check it out. I'm leaving footsteps for you to follow. I've already made all the mistakes, so you don't have to make, right? And I'll tell you something else. I'm gonna leave this for bonus homework. If you find a way to do this as a question, you're gonna have even more power. I'm gonna leave that to you to how you do it. But if you can do this as a question, so it's like an egg sometimes. If life starts from outside the shell, if the crack happens outside the shell, then life ends. But if the crack's happening from inside the shell, then life is beginning. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes you want to ask a question so that crack appears from inside the eggshell so you can get a life going. Y'all will get that later. All right. Question number 3. Hold up. Anybody got any questions? *6 will unmute your line in the winner's hotline. I'll hear you when you unmute, so don't trip. I'm just trying to make sure, because y'all be scared to ask questions in real time, so I just be pulling them all from the newsletter and the questions that we get in every week. Somebody else was like, how can I kill my fear of sales? How can I cure or kill my fear of sales? This is a mindset, y'all. Before I give you the answer, somebody type that in the comments. Make sure, let me make sure y'all still awake. Somebody say fear of sales. Somebody say cure my fear of sales. Cure my fear of sales. Can somebody give me that? How can I cure my fear of sales? Appreciate that, Patry Ann. Appreciate that. How can I cure my fear of sales? Somebody type that in and give me a share. How can I cure my fear of sales? Maybe you're not going through this, but one of your friends is going through this. One of your counterparts is going through this. Somebody in your peer group is going through this. Anybody know what I'm talking about? How can I cure my fear of sales? This weekend's Kaizen Academy is going to be all about creating instant rapport. Last week we talked about how to find qualified, ready to buy prospects, right? Because if we only got a limited amount of time, we want to talk to the people that's ready to go, not the ones that's window shopping. So we went real deep into that last week, right? Well, this week's edition of Prospects on Demand, the second class in this series is just talking about how to create instant rapport. So that's going to help you kill the fear of sales. But I'm going to tell you what else. Get it in your head. Somebody type this in the comments. My job is just to collect decisions. My job is just to collect decisions. I'm just a decision collector. Somebody write that in the comments. This ain't no win or lose thing. This ain't no live or die kind of situation, right? I'm just here to collect decisions. Like we talked about earlier, all I'm looking for is somebody who wants to be a client. All I'm looking for is somebody who wants to be a business partner, or I'm looking for somebody who's going to do me a favor. All I'm doing is collecting decisions. Our biggest problem is that enough of us ain't doing really simple things every day to collect more decisions. Your biggest problem is you ain't getting more people to say yes, no, or get out my face every day. That's your big problem. That's what's happening with your bank account. You're not collecting enough decisions. Somebody write that in the comments. I collect decisions for a living. I collect decisions for a living. My only job is to collect decisions, y'all. My only job is to collect decisions. You got me, Juan. We glad you're here, King. Hey, somebody type that in the comments. My job is just to collect decisions. Another mindset that you can kind of put deep into your subconsciousness, right? Another mindset is that, hey, what's the worst that can happen if I do this? That can get rid of the fear when you begin to imagine a worst case scenario. And then you're like, either that ain't that bad or that probably ain't going to happen. You got me? Like, what's the worst that can happen? Are they going to firebomb your house? That would be the worst thing that could happen. Like if your whole family's in there and they firebomb the house, right? That'd be pretty bad. But is that going to happen because you offered them a business opportunity? Probably not. So let's just do it, Hazik. Yeah, fear is a liar. Fear is a liar. The devil is a liar, and he will fan the flames while you're sweating in the fire. You know what I'm saying? So you can ask yourself, what's the worst that can happen if I do? What's the worst that can happen if I don't? How does my life look a year from now if I continue to never talk to anybody every day? If I continue to not talk to 2 new people every day, what does my life start to look like? Right? Right? But you can also ask the prospect that, y'all. You can also talk to the client. You can ask the client. You can say, hey, well, let me just ask you, because sometimes people are kind of thinking about their fears and they don't even realize it. Let me ask you, what's the worst that can happen if you join? What's the worst that can happen? I just told you it's a risk-free, money back guarantee. Because don't forget, like we talked about last Free Coaching Friday, the 2 ways that you can attract more clients, because you got to give yourself the power to prescribe, right? And one of the first rules you have in the power to prescribe is that you got to attract clients. You can't chase clients. So now we done attracted them, right? We sitting there kicking it with them. Listen, and I know that one of the most powerful questions you can ask them is, what happens if you don't do this? How does it look if you don't do this? Right? I dare you. That's another way that you can kill the fear of sales, though. You can put yourself in a position where you're asking them the questions. You're asking them, what's the best that can happen? What's the worst that can happen? You're asking yourself, what's the best that can happen? And also, what's the worst that can happen? Because sometimes fear can be an incredible motivator. Somebody else asked the question, y'all. They was like, hey, what do I do when people have such horrible perceptions about network marketing? We got hella network marketing questions, and I love it. What are some things I can do when people just be hating on MLM? Well, as a communicator, one of your most powerful tools are similes, examples, and metaphors, right? Stories is basically what I'm saying. Yeah. We collect decisions for a living. Somebody better tell them, Keish. We collect decisions for a living. All right, check it out. Similes, examples, little tests you can give them, stories and whatnot. Like one of the stories that I like to tell is called the grocery store story, right? Let's say me and you go to the grocery store and I get, a box of 44 candy bars and a diet soda, right? And they ring me up, they bagging up my stuff. And then you behind me in line and you get the same thing, except I noticed they give you some points. You pull out a loyalty card and then they give you some points. And then I hear the lady say to you, okay, you got X amount more points before you get to go on vacation in Hawaii. And I'm like, oh, snap, you bought the same thing I did, but you get to go to Hawaii, right? That's how this thing works. But it gets better, because what happens is the store ends up calling you like, hey, we see you've been using your loyalty card. We like giving you points. We love that. Check it out. Please tell your neighbors about our store and we'll give them a loyalty card too. So you ain't got to go Hawaii by yourself. We're going to start giving them bonus points at the same time so they can go to Hawaii with you. And for helping us out, what we're going to do is when we give your neighbors some points on their loyalty card, we also going to give you some points on your loyalty card so you can get to Hawaii even quicker. Right? Well, this is how home-based businesses work. This is how phone-based businesses work. But instead of giving you points, we give you cash. Right? Everybody with me? And it works. You'll go on to tell them, because as humans, we love to promote. We love to recommend stuff. We've been doing it since the campfire. And so for a lot of people, it just makes sense to get paid for things that we as humans do anyway. I mean, there's only 2 types of people: the ones that get paid to recommend, and then the ones that choose to not get paid to recommend. Everybody with me? Call that the grocery store story. That's right. Call that the grocery store story. Somebody type in grocery store if that connected with you. You know, if that went in there somewhere. If you was like, you know what? I'm going to rewind this so I can jot down bullet points about this grocery store story. I think I'm going to tell that to somebody. I think I'm going to practice it. I think I'm going to practice that. That's what we can do when they have a horrible perception of these sorts of business opportunities, these business opportunities. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. Okay. Question number 4 that we got. Question number 4 was, how much money? Oh, yeah, this is a famous one. I answered this a couple weeks ago, but a lot of people get this question, so I'm just going to throw it out there. You know, you're talking to them about the business opportunity. You're letting them know that they can make a couple dollars on the side doing stuff they do anyway. And then they hit you with the question. You know it's coming. They say to you, they say, hey, check it out. How much money you making? How much money you making? You know, if you brand new, you get hit them with, man, you'd never believe it. You'd never believe it. No, but all jokes aside, you know, if you've been in it for a while, you got a couple clients, you got a couple teammates, then, you know, my favorite, most accurate way to answer this objection, I'm going to give it to you in a minute, but if somebody type it in, how much do you make? How much do you make? Somebody type that in the comments. How much do you make? If you want the answer to this one. If you didn't get this last time, or if you got it last time, just for fun, type it in the comments. Type it in the comments. Tell me the answer. How do you answer when somebody says, how much money you making, you know, in network marketing? How much money you making with your affiliate marketing business? You know, I see you posting about Nove all the time. How much you making? I see you posting your little travel business all the time. How much you making? You always posting about your little tea. How much you making? Right? Anybody ever wanted to know how to answer that? Yeah, Renee. All right, so here's the answer. Here's the answer. Here's my favorite answer, most accurate answer. I don't know. I'm not done counting it yet. And then they're going to say, well, what do you mean? Well, you got to understand, there's people I signed up last year that I'm still getting paid for month after month after month. I'm not done counting it yet. I haven't finished collecting it yet. Somebody give me some fire emojis. Give me some fire emojis. Y'all see that? It's all about your language. It's all about how you answer these things. You know, you can answer it a certain way and then you done lost me. You'll never get me, but you can answer it a completely different way. And I'm like, you know what? That makes sense. What have I been tripping over? Right? But some of y'all are like, yo, what if I'm brand new? What if I'm brand new? How can I answer it like that, Mr. Ali? All right. Well, if you're brand new, anybody, yeah, that's right. I'm not done collecting it yet. Yeah, I'm still counting. I don't know. I ain't finished counting yet, you know? So if you're brand new, the way you can answer this is you could say something like, oh, well, you know, I'm just now getting started. I'm just learning. And it's a business, not a job. So it'll probably take me 6 months before I'm making any real money. But the only question is, in 6 months, you know, are you coming on the cruise with me? You know, in 6 months, are you going to have an extra $1,000 a month coming in like me? That's the only question. You know, we done did all this other crazy stuff together, girl. Come on, do this business with me. Y'all see what I mean? Y'all see what I mean? That's how I would handle something like that. Let's get it. Let's get it. I hope this was helpful, y'all. We got Kaizen Academy coming this weekend. Was this helpful? Scale of 1 to 10. Was this helpful? Y'all got something out of this? Was this helpful? It's affirmation time. Let's get it. Let's go. Let's go. Kaizen Academy is this weekend. Scale of 1 to 10. How helpful was this? Did you get something you're going to actually use? You got something you're going to actually use out this thing? Scale of 1 to 10. 10 is I'm definitely going to use something that I got today. And then for extra points, you could teach somebody else. If you want to learn it fast, the F is Facebook group, the A is accountability partner, the S is subscribe right now, and the T is teach somebody else. You can do that through the comments. Still do that in your normal life, but you can also do that through the comments. Yeah, Miss Deborah, that was that last one we gave them. That's the answer for if you're brand new. If you put a 10 in the comments, I'm really happy to hear that. Make sure that you use it. Teach somebody else. Teach somebody else. All right. Let's go. As you all know, this is for all kinds of entrepreneurs. Any kind of entrepreneur, we're giving them stuff they can use. Like yesterday, we was giving them the 4 principles of building rapport. If you didn't check that out, you probably want to go back and watch that. We were talking about empathy and similarity, and y'all remember shared experiences. Like we gave you all these dope ways to create rapport. Did y'all see yesterday's training? Y'all notice that's good for any entrepreneur, right? So I don't want you to think this is just about one company or this is just about one industry. This is about entrepreneurship. We're here to extend the life expectancy of the entrepreneur because we humbly believe that entrepreneurs are God's favorite. We humbly believe that all the problems that get solved are happening through entrepreneurship. We're the ones that gave you the iPhone, the automobile, the airplane. You know what I'm saying? Entrepreneurship, baby. And make sure that you join the newsletter, Entrepreneurish Mint. All right, it's affirmation time. Let's go. Call in right now. Let's go. Repeat after me. Say it like you mean it. I am